Hi, my name is Rachel, and I wanted to do a few videos on toilet training or potty training. This is going to be the first of 3 videos. In this video, I'm going to focus on different methods that worked for my son and I. He is now 2 and completely potty trained. We're completely free of diapers overnight and everything. And in the second video, I wanted to focus on products that worked for us. And then in the last video, I wanted to focus on toilet talk or potty etiquette because I believe that this is an important piece of the puzzle. Okay, so I wanted to start by saying, although I believe in elimination communication, I did not use those methods. I did know from elimination communication and other child psychology things that children are capable of starting potty training at a younger age than most of us start at. So I wanted to be done with the process at or around age 2. And I wanted to start at age 1. I asked Grandma to get him a potty for his 1-year-old birthday. And so we brought the potty in the house and I let him explore it and have fun with it. And I didn't keep it like strictly for potty training purposes. And I also came across a book, and I'll link to this down below in the comments, that helped tremendously. It's called Potty Training Your Baby. And she suggests that you put your baby on the potty when they wake up after a nap or after, sleeping through the night or whatever. You put them on the potty and then you just let them sit there for a few minutes. If they go, you cheer. And if they don't, then you don't force it. And it only takes really a couple times until they realize that the potty is for peeing. And in conjunction with that, if I noticed that he was pooping, in his diaper, I would tell him, hey, you're pooping. This is pooping. Right now, what you're doing, you're pooping. And soon, you'll be doing that in a potty. And everybody does. And you're going to realize when you're going to poop. And you'll be able to go and do that in a potty. And I'll help you learn, because that's what we all do. And it wasn't like a crazy forced thing. It was just this is what we all do, and I'm going to help you learn how to do it. And it was actually fun teaching him and stress-free. And so a couple things that we ran into that were problematic, a couple hurdles that we had to get over, was at first he had a pretty hard time sitting. In fact, he would fuss and fight if he had to sit back on the potty and his pants were restricting his range of motion. And this is something that I just had to learn by observing him. If his pants were at his thighs or his ankles and he couldn't spread his knees and get that range of motion in his hips where he could sit back, he would just fuss and he would fight sitting on a potty. But if I took his pants all the way off, and he could sit all the way back and spread his knees normal stance, he'd be fine. And so for a while I did that until he was able to trust that he could, put his pants around his ankles and learn that we were going to pull him back up and he could take my hands or whatever and sit back. And for a while he also had a hard time pulling his pants down when he needed to go. So I would either let him run around the house naked when we were home, in which case he would learn to just go and sit on the potty whenever he needed to, or I would watch for cues of him tugging at his waistband or going near the potty, in which I would pull his pants down and help him on it. We really didn't have any power struggles or need any rewards or stuff like that, because as the author suggests as well, when you start at a younger age, they're not really set in their diaper wearing ways, and they're not to the point where children are completely testing boundaries and defiant like they do when they kind of start their twos. And so it was just a nice kind of easy thing, this is what people do and we're going to teach you how to do it. And he just comes out on my lap and I love him so much. So we also made potty time fun, and you'll learn more about that in my potty etiquette video. We would just laugh about the bodily functions, and this is what it is, and it's cool, and there's no shame in it. And as he got older, like now that he's 2 and there's sometimes he doesn't want to sit on a potty, but like I know he needs to go. There's a couple things that I've found, and I'm sure I'm going to come across more on the way that are helpful. One, I can be like, hey, mommy's got to go potty. Do you want to go before or after me? And he'll usually be like, I want to go first. And so I'm like, cool. Sit you on a potty first. Another thing that I'll do is just start counting. And sometimes I'll just go ahead and start, just kind of as a distraction. And other times I'll say, well, it's not going to take very long. You know you pee really quick. And he does. Like, because we've been doing this for a while, as soon as he hits the potty, he goes. So usually we're done with the whole process in like 20 seconds. So I'll start counting, and then it's like we're done by like 20 seconds, and he sees how quick it was. And then we laugh at that. Like, wow, look, we were fighting about this, but how silly. It was so easy, so quick, and now you feel better, don't you? And, you know, we started going overnight because I noticed that his diapers were dry in the morning. And so I just put some trust in him. And a lot of this has mostly just been like me trusting the process. And you'll learn more about that and in the like products video, because a lot of it has to do with the underpants. Actually, I found more success in the minimal amount of like protection and underpants, but it only took a couple accidents for him to realize that, you know, he didn't want to be wet. He didn't want his pants to get wet or the floor to get wet. So it took a lot of trust, and it took knowing, like, this might take a couple accidents, but we'll learn, and we'll get through this, and it's going to be better. And now, like I said, we're completely done. We rarely ever have accidents. If we do, it's like he realizes at the time, and then, like, we'll hold it and run to the potty and finish, and it's rare. We never have poop accidents, and, I don't know. Just leave me comments if there's any questions that you have or any other ways that I can help. I tried to keep this short, and he's sitting on my lap if you haven't noticed. So I'm going to go read him a book or give him a snack or go have some fun. So I hope you do the same with your littles. Bye.